Hi friends, do you want to be rich? Do you want to grow your money? Do you want financial freedom? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, then you have come to the right place. Let me show you how we can make that happen, step by step. You might believe that keeping your cash in a bank is the safest possible move. Nearly 90% of us do exactly that, trusting those brick-and-mortar buildings with our hard-earned money. But here's what actually happens behind the polished counters and friendly smiles. The bank turns around and lends your money to someone else, charging them a fat interest rate while giving you barely a crumb in return. Your money works like a diligent employee for them, yet you get pocket change and a dismissive wave. Now, do not get me wrong, keeping money in a bank is not evil. You need a place for everyday expenses and emergency funds. The real problem is when your entire life's earnings just sit there in a savings account, slowly losing their true power to inflation and missed opportunities. So what is the smarter path? Direct your money into assets that actually grow, things that not only protect your principal, but multiply it day by day, week by week. In this guide, I'm going to walk you through 10 powerful assets that have a proven track record of building wealth over time and steering you toward true financial independence. And the best part? You don't need to be a millionaire to start, just a bit of understanding and the courage to take the first step. Let us dive in. Before we talk about the 10 assets, let's get crystal clear on what an asset really is versus a liability. In plain English, an asset is anything that puts money into your pocket or grows in value as time passes. Think of a rental apartment that brings you monthly cash flow or a stock that appreciates year after year.
Assets build your future while liabilities drain it. See the difference? And now, for the 10 key assets.
A liability does the opposite. It pulls money out of your pocket. That shiny new car that eats up fuel, insurance, and loan payments? Liability. The latest smartphone that costs a month's salary and depreciates the moment you unbox it? Also a liability. The wealthy understand this distinction deeply. They channel most of their income into assets. The middle class, unfortunately, often spends most of their paycheck on things that look like assets but behave like liabilities. Let's start with asset number 1, real estate. For generations, land and buildings have been among the most trusted wealth builders. Why? Because there's only so much earth to go around. Population keeps rising, and people will always need places to live, work, and run businesses. Demand for space never truly sleeps. Think about a plot of land that cost 500,000 rupees 10 years ago. Today, that same plot could easily be worth 5 million or more. That's the magic of real estate. Better yet, imagine you buy a small apartment and rent it out. Every month, rent lands in your account, passive income. Every year, the property's market value climbs. You're getting a double benefit, cash flow plus appreciation. Real estate isn't flashy, but it's steady. If you want a safe, tangible way to build serious wealth over decades, this is your foundation. Asset number 2 is one that nobody can ever take from you, your skills. Your unique abilities, whether that's coding, video editing, digital marketing, graphic design, or even persuasive communication, are lifelong income generators. Unlike a house or a stock, skills travel with you everywhere. Lose your job? Skills get you another one. Want to start a side hustle? Skills make it possible. In today's world, learning new skills has never been easier. YouTube, online courses, forums, and free tutorials are everywhere. The key is to never stop learning. Every hour you invest in upgrading your skill set pays dividends for the rest of your career. Think of skills as the engine of your earning potential. Without them, you're dependent on others. With them, you create your own opportunities. Asset number 3 is gold. For centuries, this yellow metal has been a trusted store of value. It's not just jewelry or a wedding gift, it's financial insurance. Gold has a remarkable quality. It never goes to zero. In fact, over long periods, it tends to rise. Consider this. 15 years ago, 10 grams of gold cost around 7,000 rupees. Today, the same quantity exceeds 60,000 rupees. That's nearly a 9-fold increase. And the beauty of gold is its liquidity. Almost anywhere in the world, you can turn gold into cash within hours. It's your hidden emergency fund, the one you don't advertise but can rely on. These days, you don't even need to hold physical gold. Digital gold, gold bonds, and exchange-traded funds offer the same benefits without storage worries. Plus, gold acts as a hedge against inflation. When prices rise, gold often rises too, protecting your purchasing power. So if you've only seen gold as decoration, it's time to see it as wealth. Asset number 4 is stocks and shares. When you buy a share of a company, you become a part owner of that business. If the company grows and earns more profit, the value of your share typically rises. Yes, the stock market has ups and downs, sometimes dramatic ones, but over long stretches, patient investors who pick solid companies have been rewarded handsomely. The key is to think in years, not days. Today, investing in stocks is incredibly accessible. With a smartphone and a small amount of money, you can buy fractional shares or invest through mutual funds and systematic investment plans. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius. You just need discipline and a long-term view. Remember, stocks are not a get-rich-quick scheme. They're a get-wealthy-slowly vehicle. If you want to understand the market in more detail, there are plenty of resources out there. Consider this your invitation to learn. Asset number 5 is business ownership. There's a reason why entrepreneurs often top the wealth charts. In a job, you trade time for money. In a business, you build a system that makes money for you. Even a small shop, an online store, or a local service business can become an asset that generates income while you sleep. The growth potential of a business is theoretically unlimited. Amazon started as a humble online bookstore. Flipkart began with a small idea. Not everyone will build a giant corporation, but a well-run small business can still create more wealth than decades of salary. And here's the empowering truth. Business ownership is not reserved for the elite. If you have a skill, a solution to a problem, or a product people want, you can start. It might be scary at first, but the rewards can be life-changing. Asset number 6, mutual funds. Many people feel overwhelmed by the idea of picking individual stocks. That is perfectly fine. Mutual funds solve that problem. When you put money into a mutual fund, your cash is pooled with other investors and spread across dozens or even hundreds of companies. This diversification reduces your risk. Professional fund managers, people who do this for a living, decide where to invest. Your job is simple. Contribute regularly through a systematic investment plan and let the experts handle the rest. Over time, thanks to the power of compounding, even small monthly amounts can grow into substantial sums. Mutual funds also teach you financial discipline. You commit to saving a fixed amount each month, no matter what the market is doing. For beginners or busy people, this is often the smartest entry point into investing. Asset number 7, bonds. Not everyone is comfortable with the volatility of stocks or the responsibilities of business. Some people want safety, predictability, and peace of mind. Bonds offer exactly that. When you buy a bond, you're essentially lending your money to a government or a large corporation. In return, they promise to pay you a fixed interest rate over a set period, and at the end, they return your principal. Bonds do not swing wildly like stocks. They provide stable, predictable income. Wealthy investors always include bonds in their portfolios to balance out riskier assets. Yes, bond returns are generally lower than stock returns over the long run, but lower risk and steady cash flow are valuable trade-offs. If you want to sleep soundly at night without checking market charts every morning, bonds belong in your life. Asset number 8, digital assets. This is the new frontier. Digital assets are things you create once that can generate income for years. Examples include a YouTube channel, an ebook, an online course, a mobile app, or even a popular social media page. Imagine writing an ebook over a few weekends. After it is published, every time someone buys it, you earn money, no additional effort. The same goes for an online course. You record the lessons once, and then it sells on autopilot. A mobile app can generate ad revenue or subscription fees while you focus on other things. The startup costs for digital assets are often very low, sometimes just your time and creativity. What is required is consistency, a bit of technical know-how, and a willingness to learn. Today, countless people earn full-time incomes purely from digital assets they built on the side. If you're already spending time on the internet, consider shifting from being a consumer to a creator. Asset number 9, venture capital. This means investing in early-stage startups or new businesses. You're betting on a young company with a promising idea but limited funds. Think of it as watering a seedling that could grow into a mighty tree. If that startup succeeds, your small investment can multiply many times over. There are legendary stories of early investors turning a few $1,000s into millions. However, venture capital is risky. Many startups fail. You have to be prepared to lose your entire investment in some cases. That is why this asset is usually for people who already have a solid financial base and can afford to take calculated risks. The good news is that platforms now allow regular people to invest small amounts in startups, not just billionaires. If you love innovation and want to support dreamers while potentially earning huge returns, venture capital can be an exciting addition to your portfolio. Asset number 10, e-commerce stores. The internet has changed retail forever. In the past, opening a store meant renting a physical space, stocking inventory, and paying utility bills. Today, you can launch an online store from your living room. Platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, Shopify, and others let you reach customers across your country and even around the world. Suppose you design custom t-shirts or make handmade candles. With an online store, your products can sell while you're asleep, at a family dinner, or on a vacation. The initial effort goes into setting up the store, creating product listings, and building a brand. Once it's rolling, it becomes a passive income machine. Yes, you will need to handle customer service and marketing, but the scalability is unmatched. A physical shop reaches perhaps a few thousand local people. An online store can reach millions. If you have a unique product or even a clever twist on a common one, e-commerce might be your fastest path to financial growth. Now, let's tie this all together. The common thread across these 10 assets is that they either generate ongoing income or appreciate in value over time, often both. The bank is a convenient place for short-term needs, but it was never designed to build wealth. Wealth is built by converting earned income into productive assets. You don't need to chase all 10 at once. Pick one or two that resonate with your personality, your knowledge, and your risk tolerance. Maybe you start with a mutual fund systematic investment plan while learning a high-income skill. Perhaps you buy a small piece of land or a rental property, or you create a digital product this weekend. The important thing is to begin. Small, consistent actions repeated over years lead to extraordinary results. And remember, the goal is not just to hoard money. The goal is financial freedom, the ability to make choices without being controlled by a paycheck. Every asset you add to your life moves you closer to that liberty. So take a moment. Look at your finances today. How much is sitting idle in a savings account earning next to nothing? How much could be redirected into something that works for you? The gap between where you are and where you want to be is filled with action. Not perfect action, but persistent action. So, friends, are you ready to get rich? Are you ready to grow your money? Are you ready for financial freedom? The answer starts with the first step you take today. Let's go.